What's going on, everybody? So I figured I would just get on here and chop it up with you guys for a little bit before we have prayer meeting at the church. So with that being said, if you got a serious prayer request, you can just post it in the comment section. And when I go down to the prayer meeting in the church, we will definitely just pray over your requests. I'm a big, firm believer that prayer works. With that being said, I don't know how many of you guys, know my testimony, but man, I remember, when I was in the world and, backsliding, all that kind of stuff. When I joined the army, man, I remember going to the club one particular night, right? And I guess I'm just going to share a little bit of my testimony with you guys real quick. I remember going to the club one night and, um, this girl who used to go to the same church that I was going to, she walks up right in the club, and she's just, the music is blasting, my homeboys are getting drunk, there's girls everywhere and stuff. And she walks up, I never forget, she kisses me right, like on the side of my mouth. And she's a little bit buzzed, you know what I'm saying? And she's like, we're not supposed to be here, right? And so, like, I look at her and I'm like, man, get off me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in there, having a good time, feeling myself or whatever. I'm like, man, I ain't trying to hear that right now. And I kid you not, probably about, man, 10 minutes after that, I remember there was like these three dudes, right? And so they were trying to talk to my homeboy's wife. He went to the bathroom. I'm like, hey, bro, what I'm saying? Like, she's married, so she ain't, she's not trying to talk to you or whatever. And so it seemed like at first it was cool, right? They went away. Next thing I know, like, I'm by the bar and these guys, they come back, right? And the dude has some kind of, drink in his hand and he just throws it on me, right? Like right on my shirt. And he's like, yo, go buy me another drink. You can use your imagination to hear what he said. And so me, if you know anything about my testimony, like, that's it. It's a wrap. I'm ready to fight. So I cussed him out. I said what I wanted to say, and then, lock and load, right? And I'm ready to go. And so I cussed him out in such a way, like, now we gotta fight. Guys, I never forget, this guy did some kind of like some crazy like bird call, like the bat symbol. like he put the ghetto bat symbol in the sky, right? And next thing I know, there's like 5, 6 guys just crowded around like some dogs, just like it was almost like they were barking, like, "Hoo, hoo," like what he say, da 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 da, like they was ready to go. And so, these dudes, they kind of thought it was just me, I guess, or whatever. And I'm not the biggest dude now. In my army days, I was pretty skinny as well, right? And so I remember, okay, now they want to jump me. I'm still like, hey, we about to fight then. So my homeboys come though, like they come from around the corner, they see what's going on. Now, mind you, both of my homeboys are like 6'2", 6'3". One of them a Dominican guy. They went to Iraq, they went to Afghanistan with me, and they was pretty, they was pretty tall. So now when these dudes, even though there was more of them, when they seen my homeboys come around the corner, they was kind of looking like, okay, we're gonna slow our roll a little bit. But then they, we still got like 10 or 12 to y'all three. So my homeboys, they ain't, they're not trying to fight. They're a little bit drunk or whatever, and they just like, hey, we're gonna go to the other side. Man, I never forget. We walked to the other side, and I don't know what happened. Like somehow, like we were on our way out the door, and I remember seeing my homeboy like arguing with this guy. Now he was looking up to this guy. I just told you, my homeboys is about 6'3", 6'2", pretty good size. And he looking up at this guy. And I can't hear what's going on because the music is boom, 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 boom. You know what I'm saying? And all I see is the dude just boom, hit my homeboy. And it's like, how that switch goes off, like when you love somebody or whatever. I don't know what I was thinking, but the switch went off. And I ran over there and I jumped on this dude back. Now, mind you, this dude is pretty tall, right? So when I jump on his back, I'm like way up here, right? And like I'm holding on, and my feet are just kind of dangling, right? This guy's a big dude. I'm like pop, 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 hitting him. It's not doing anything. Ain't doing anything. Not doing anything, guys. And so next thing I know, some guys grab me, throw me off on the floor, and I kid you guys not, we're fighting about 30 to 35 people versus three. When I tell you the whole club, I don't know if they were having a, I don't know if they were having a family reunion at the club, and we were like the only ones who weren't family. Because man, even the security, I remember at one point we were trying to get out, and the security was swinging on us, right? And so like I'm on the floor getting beat up, 5, 6 dudes. And then my Dominican homeboy, now he crazy, you know what I'm saying? Like we've been through some crazy stuff together when we was in Afghanistan, Iraq, all of that. I don't I just know in the back of my mind, like, bro was gonna come get me. And sure enough, right? So, somebody in the comments said, when was this? Like, I hope Pastor wasn't in the club this weekend. Some of y'all thinking it was last night. No, this is years ago when I was in the army. I'm just kind of sharing my testimony. I'm just talking a little bit free with you guys tonight. I'm gonna share some stuff with you guys. But sure enough, my homeboy, he comes and he grabs me, right? And he picks me up and he's like, push your back against the wall. And so, like, I got my back against the wall. He got his back against the wall. Our other homeboy, it looked like that man going through a prayer line, right? All I see, he just walking through like this, and people are just bop, 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 like trying to baptize him. Like literally, like an old school prayer line in the church. He just walking through, and everybody's just bing, bing, like anybody who can get a hit's getting a hit, right? Got my back against the wall. I see this dude run around the corner, boom, I stick him like, oh, now I'm feeling good. So I get the little Muhammad Ali bounce going on, you know what I'm saying? And then I never forget, I seen this guy, he had like a bottle or something in his hand. And so he runs up the side of like there's this little like seat kind of couch thing, and he runs up and I see him going for it. So I run up and I jump and boom, kick him in his chest. He fall off, hit his head on the table. Now I'm feeling like Bruce Lee. But then they take one of the like the VIP poles, bow, they hit my homeboy in the head, right? And so he kind of like, he got to look out for him. So then they turn their attention to me, 6, 7 dudes, they get me, pop, pop, just stumping. They river dancing on me, guys. I'm talking about these guys. I'm talking about they just just like that. You know what I'm saying? Like they river dancing all over me. It's to the point. It's to the point. I kid you not. I remember to this day, bro had on like a brown Air Force with the green Nike sign. Like the shoe was so close, like I'm seeing it boom, boom, getting stumped out. And mind you, this story sounds long. It was long. Like the fight was long. This wasn't no 30-second experience, right? This wasn't no, hey, the fight was only 2 minutes and it felt, it was longer than it felt. No, we was in there for about 15 minutes fighting for our lives. And I river dancing. I'm talking about these guys just, they almost like they was praise dancing. They just and they was saying all kinds of things that I can't really say on the YouTube. I remember specifically this one guy, bald-headed dude. It's a little PTSD there because I can remember it crystal clear. Like it's like, ooh, like I could still feel the footprints, right? And so I remember this one guy's forearm, it was just bop, bop, getting me. And I remember even when I was getting stumped out, I said, man, that man's forearm looked like a leg. I say, yo, this dude is punching me, right? And his forearm looks like a leg. Like, look, I got some pretty big legs, right? You know what I'm saying? That man forearm, I'm not talking about the bicep. I said, this man forearm looked like my whole leg. And so he was saying some stuff to me like, yeah, get this, get that, you little light skin, da 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 da. And I said, you know what? Now is the time to humble myself. Remember what I told you at the beginning of the story. The girl from the church, she walks in And before all this happened, she kisses me on the cheek while the music is playing. I'm just yeah, crank that Soldier Boy or whatever we was doing, the stanky leg, whatever dances there was back then. And I brushed her off. That was God giving me a warning. Like, hey, you don't belong here, right? And I brushed her off. And so now I'm like, that's coming to my memory. And I'm feeling all these feet all over my body. You know what I'm saying? And I say, Lord, if you get me out of this, I'll go back to church. I'll never go to the club again. Long story short, somehow I get up. We fight our way out of there. Now, mind you, the police is outside the whole time. The room that we were fighting in, it's like outside of the main like club where the DJ's playing. It's like almost like the foyer. So what made it worse is it's not much bigger than my office. It's a little bit bigger, maybe 2 or 3 times as big as my office, but it was like packed in. And the cops, they didn't get involved. They were just standing out. They were watching. Now, here's the crazy part. We get outside and I'm feeling good all of a sudden. And I start talking crazy. I'm like, it's like 30 of y'all and just 3 of us. I don't got, I ain't have no. Now my homeboy, his eye was like like blood, like kind of like blood red. And the other homeboy, he was bleeding out his ear. But me, I just had some lumps on the back, but they couldn't see that. So I'm talking reckless. I'm like, it's only 3 of us. It's like 30 of y'all, and we still here. We still standing. Like, and they was looking like, you want some more? And I don't know, like, I don't know if it was something about the night air or the fact that it was so many of them that I don't know, maybe it was because I just prayed or something, but I was feeling invincible. I'm like, let's go, da, da, da. You know what I'm saying? I'm cussing and stuff like that. And my homeboy's looking kind of like, yo, chill, bro. Like, we just made it out of there. And I'm fired up, you know what I'm saying? Now here's the crazy part, right? Here's the crazy part. I told the Lord, right? I said, I'll never go to the club again. Next week, I'm back in the club. Come on, man. Now, I told you I was young and dumb. The Lord got, and don't y'all be looking at me funny and talking crazy in the comments like you never had a moment with God like that. And you was like, God, if you do this, I'll never do this, I'll do this. And then you didn't keep your end of the bargain. I did not keep my end of the bargain. I was determined, right? On Monday, I was like, hey, I ain't going to the club. I was determined on Tuesday. Wednesday started rolling around. I said, man, we where the girls at? You know what I'm saying? And so by, I think it was a Saturday night, I'm back in the club with my same homeboys. We get to the club, though, the parking lot. This is a different club. This is an actually more ghetto club, all right? We get to the parking lot, and a fight almost happens right there in the parking lot. Like, first warning, right? 3 strikes, you're out. We get in the club early in the night. One of my homeboys almost gets into a fight. We're able to diffuse the situation. And I'm going to tell you how I diffused the situation. It's going to be kind of funny. Some of y'all are going to laugh. We leave the club. I'm thinking, oh, man, this was a good night. This was great. This was fun. Everything's cool, right? We get in the parking lot. One of my homeboys, like I said, they all drunk. I've never drunk. I've never smoked. That wasn't my thing. I was just kind of crazy without it. So I was always the designated driver, right? So one of my homeboys, he's sloppy, super duper drunk, right? I guess he's feeling that liquid courage. And the worst group of guys that he could have addressed in the parking lot, they were sitting on the car, just like, it was a bunch of them. And I don't know what possessed this man. Now that I think about it, he probably needed some deliverance. If when I think about it now, I'm like, bro, like, what possessed you to do that? Now I do know that they call the liquor spirits and stuff, and so that liquid probably got into him and did a little something to him. And he was generally like a quiet individual, but not when we got in the parking lot. And so I'm looking at this guy in horror. Like my eyes are getting big as he start with the stuff that proceeds to come out of his mouth, right? And so his eyes, my eyes are big because he starts walking over there, with this, and I'm like, oh no, but I'm too like far away to really like get to him in time. And he says, hey, and then he grabs his shirt like this. He puts his hand under his shirt, and I'm like, what is this man doing? And he like, y'all, you can use your imagination what he said, bussing, and he puts his hand in the air like he's shooting a gun. I'm sitting back there like, no, we just had the perfect night and you about to mess it up. And so immediately these very extremely gangster looking individuals who definitely look like they about that life, they get off the car and they say, what? And I said, oh no. Now, this is how I try to diffuse the situation. As many of you guys know, I am half black, half white. As many of you guys know, Jesus is the lion and the lamb. There's a time to be the lion and there's a time to be the lamb. Now, the week before, when the guy threw the drink on me, right, and I got stumped out by like 30 people, I decided to immediately be the lion, right? And I'm going to tell you a story after why I was that way from even back in my earlier days when I got robbed all the way down to my boxers. I'm going to tell you that story after this story, right? And so this time I said, you know what? Maybe let me try to apply being the lamb. And so I said, hey guys, right? There was nothing gangster in my voice. I gave them the very professional corporate, the white side. I'm like, hey guys, we really don't want any problems. My buddies, they were just getting, a little drunk, and I'm gonna get them out of here. And they're like, yeah, you better get them out of here, homie. They didn't say homie. Use your imagination to what word they said, right? And they said, yeah, man, you better get them out of here. We're gonna blast you. Da 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 da. I'm like, yeah, no problem, guys. We don't want anyone to get blasted. Yeah, no, just if this blasted, hey, that's cool, but not this kind of blast, right? Like I'm really I'm really letting them see that side because I don't want them to see the lion at all. Make no mistake about it, though, the lion was in there somewhere, but I just didn't feel like it was time for the lion to come out. And so I grabbed my homeboys and we're walking back to the car. And these guys are kind of like hovering, following, like they look, right? Like if you had seen them sitting out there, it was like they were waiting outside of the club to beat somebody up. Like I wish he would have said something to anybody else but this group. But some of it is spiritual because remember, let's rewind. I did tell God that if he had got me out of that last situation, I would never, ever go to the club again. I did tell God that, right? And I didn't keep my word. And so, anyways, I get to the truck. I'm still, talking, trying to be nice. And I get everybody in the truck, close the door. These dudes are still hovering around the truck. And I say, yeah, guys, no problem. No, there's nothing tough about us. Like, because there was about 10 or 15 of them, right? I get in the truck, guys, and I pull out of the parking lot, and I'm like, phew. Nobody river danced on my head this time. I made it. I get to the red light, and I never forget a Camaro pulled up on the right side, and then another car pulled up, and then a car went around and pulled in the front of the truck. And then two more cars, they pulled up on the other side. I was literally boxed in all the way around. And I remember looking out the passenger window, and these guys, they rolled down their windows. It's like 3 to 4 guys a car, and they put them guns out the window. Now, these ain't the little pew pew guns, right? These are the guns that, you guys probably got these illegally. I'm assuming, like, I'm not trying to profile. I'm not trying to be like, but the guns they had, it's clear that these gentlemen had bad intentions for us, right? And I never forget my homeboy, as soon as they put the gun, I remember there's like a couple guys, they were leaning out the window. They're like, "What's up now? You was talking all that stuff in the parking lot." Like they followed us, right? And I never forget my homeboy, he reaches under the seat because we got two guns, in the car. And he grabs the gun from under the seat. And I remember he's sitting behind me and he swings his arm, whoosh. And he's super drunk. And I remember thinking, like, yo, my homeboy is gonna shoot me in the back of the head, like being an idiot. And I remember he puts the gun out the window and he says, "I don't give a F. We could all die tonight." So now when they see the gun, they're getting more and more worked up. And I remember looking at my homeboy in the passenger seat, and it was like we have this moment where we just lock eyes, and it's like everything is just slowed down. And I'm looking at him, he's looking at me, and it just, we had similar moments in Iraq. I remember being in Iraq when the mortars were flying in, just boom, boom, boom. And I remember me and him like running to the bunker and, thinking like, hey, bro, this might be it and all kinds of stuff. And so now here we are in the States. We made it through Iraq. We made it, through Afghanistan. And now it looks like we're about to just get, shot up in a truck leaving the club. And so I'm looking at him, he's looking at me. It's like, man, bro, this is it. And man, I kid you not, man. I felt my mom praying for me. It's probably 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. I felt my mom praying for me. No joke. Like she was praying for me in the spirit. And I remember, like out of my peripheral vision on the driver's side, I saw the guy get out of the driver's seat, cock the pistol, and start walking up to my window. And clear as day, I heard the voice of God tell me, hey, look up. And I looked up right into the rearview mirror and I saw that the cars had kind of made a U around me. And immediately I knew what God was telling me. And boom, I put the truck in reverse. I smashed on the gas, backed out. We kind of ran over the curb and boom, boom, boom. They started shooting up the truck. I whip the wheel around. I'm hitting the gas. I'm going pedal to the metal. I'm like, I want the police to see. I want to get some kind of attention. The cars follow us on the ramp because I pull on the expressway just trying to get away. And they're still shooting. You could just hear it bouncing off the truck, hitting the truck. And long story short, eventually they pulled off. They stopped following us. And I pulled over, check if everybody was good. Bullet holes in the roof, bullet holes in the side. And I remember, and my homeboy, he's just so drunk, he's out of it. My other homeboy, he done sobered up. I kid you not, there's a bullet stuck in the plastic, like by the passenger seat, right where my homeboy's head would be. Like it's literally stuck in the plastic. And that was it, guys. That time, I didn't even have to tell God, like, oh, thank you for getting me out of this. I knew what God was telling me. Now, maybe you've never experienced that with God, but when God got an assignment for your life, he don't play. And I knew, like, if I was disobedient again, it was a wrap. And I went back to church and I never, ever looked back. I was 23, I don't know, 22, 23, 24, something like that. And I never ever looked back, and I was just so super duper grateful. Now, with that being said, I want to show you guys one or two things, and then I got two more. I got a bunch of funny stories I could tell you, some testimonies. I got two or three that's coming to my mind that I want to show you, but I want to hear your opinions on this. So stay tuned. Let me pull up this other screen. Let me know what you guys thought of that story, and then I want to tell you about this story where I got robbed. They stole my honey buns and some Swiss rolls that I had and some pocket change. I'll probably tell you that story. And then my interaction with this LGBTQ trio on Lakeshore Drive, driving down the expressway, and how I almost got shot by a very flamboyant Prince looking type dude over some crazy stuff that they were doing. And I can also tell you some stories about how my mom did my first girlfriend in church. Like, it was crazy. But I want to show you guys this first. Just bear with me. Give me like, I don't know, two minutes or so. So this is the Soul album, guys. It just came out today. If you guys want to support, I would greatly appreciate it. We've got a lot of tremendous feedback on Instagram. And no, it's not just a bunch of, rap music. It's more chill. I would say it's more grown man music. So I'm going to show you guys 2 clips, tell you another story, probably do another 2 clips or something like that. And then I'm gonna have to go to the prayer meeting. All right. So when I come back, remind me, all right, what it was, the story that I was gonna tell first. All right. But I'm just gonna show you a little clip. You guys can tell me what you think in the comments. All right. Old times. That's why I wrote it. I'll play like 60 seconds or so, and then you can tell me what you think, and I'll tell you another story.
Sometimes I just be reminiscing. I'm thinking we peaked in the 80s and 90s, you know what I'm saying? If I could go back in time, that's what my heart longs for.
Hey,
the world was a little bit easier.
What y'all think?
And now we lost all our control.
I'm not gonna play the whole album, just a little bit.
And Lord, I'm longing for the good old days. Carefree summer nights with a light cool breeze.
I'm gonna just let it play to the hook.
Hey, but Father, I know you got a plan for me. So I walk by faith,
right, here it is.
I see. Hey, I'm saying, take me back. But if you can't take me back, take me forward. If you can't take me back, you can't take me back.
What y'all think about that one? That's the intro song, right? I know that maybe caught a couple people off guard. I do a little bit of singing from here and there. I always actually I wanted to really just worship. I never really was into like Christian rap until somebody introduced it to me. When I was a kid, DC Talk and all that. Carmen, I don't know if you guys remember who Carmen is, but I draw a lot of inspiration from Carmen. But I know I'm not gonna force the music on you guys. I'm gonna tell you another funny story. So remember that I told you guys that while I was in the club, this young lady is she comes up to me, she kisses me, she says, "Hey, we don't belong here." I'm like, "Hey, leave me alone." This particular story is, I think it's the second time I ever heard God speak to me and what sounded like an audible voice. Now, for those of you who know my testimony, I'm not going to get too deep into it right now, but I think I was about 12 or 13 years old. I was going to commit suicide, climb the bridge and everything, was going to jump off the bridge. And I heard the Lord just say, "Hey, son, don't do it." I felt like his hand grabbed the back of my neck, and it was like warm oil was just like falling down my back. He said, "Don't do it, son. I got a plan for your life. I'm going to use you, to reach the world." And I was like at 12, 13 years old, and I'm just crying on the bridge, and I got off the bridge and I walked home. That was the first time I really ever heard God speak to me. Now, I'm sitting there with my brother, Maurice, playing basketball in the middle of the winter in Chicago, shortly after this. And so I love basketball. Like, oh my gosh, I love me some basketball. And to the point where in Chicago, it was snowing. Like you can't even really move. Like, I'm talking about, like, the snow was up to my knees, like you got to just, like, you're moving through a blizzard. But we would put our snowsuit on, go down to the park, and we would just shoot the basketball on the monkey bars, right? And if you guys, like I said, if you heard my testimony before, I've been working my whole life since I was about 11, 12 years old. I was working for like $2 an hour, 8-hour, 9-hour days, hard labor, doing drywall, all that kind of stuff. So, I had a little money. The dude was, hey, he was definitely taking advantage of me. I didn't realize it at the time, but I was homeschooled. And so I would work in the day and then do my, some of my work in the evening. And so I would like work hard labor. I'm talking about carrying, stoves and fridges out of old apartments, breaking up drywall, painting, all kinds of stuff, and then get like $20, $30 at the end of the day. And I was super duper happy about that, right? And so I got a little, I got a bunch of change in my pocket. When I was growing up, they had the quarter bag of chips, the 50-cent juice, right? All that kind of stuff. And so, you change came in handy. And so we're sitting there and we're shooting on the monkey bars, and I hear a voice clear as day tell me, "Hey, go hide behind the car." I'm like, "Go hide behind the car." Now we're in a school parking lot, right? And so there's a bunch of cars over there like that are parked or whatever. And I'm like, I'm not gonna go hide behind a car. Like, it's like I thought it was just me talking to me. And so I'm playing shooting with my brother again, and I hear that same voice like telling me, "Go hide behind the car." Mind you, there's nobody outside. It's just snow. Everybody's inside trying to be warm. And again, I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that, right? Now, just like with the girl when she kissed me and she said, "Hey, you don't belong here," God was trying to give me the warning. And so these two big old dudes, now mind you, I'm 12, 13 years old. You guys know I was super skinny, super little. I look like Arthur. I had the little nerdy glasses, all of that kind of stuff, right? They come up. It's snowing hard, guys. And these guys gotta be at the minimum like legal adults, like 17, 18. And they're like, hey, bro, you want to play 2-on-2? And when they ask me, right, they looking around like, hey, you want to play 2-on-2? Now in Chicago, when I was growing up, something bad is gonna happen when somebody asks you like a stupid question, right? They'll be like, hey, what time is it? And then you already know what time it is because you're from Chicago, and you start to be, it's 3 p.m. No, it's time for you to give me your wallet. Some crazy stuff like that. So I'm already like super suspicious. I'm looking at these two guys. I'm like, all right, what do you want? And so they're like, yeah, y'all want to play 2-on-2? We're two little kids. They're pretty much grown men. I rolled the bat, and we're not even on a basketball court. We're in a little playground with the monkey bars. You can't even dribble the ball because there's snow everywhere. I rolled the basketball over, and the dude grabs it. I kid you not. He grabs the basketball and boom, just punts it. And I'm like watching the basketball go, and it hits me. It dawns on me immediately. I don't know what you thought was going to happen. I don't know why you didn't go hide behind the car, but something that is extremely not good is probably about to happen right now. And so me and my brother are standing there, and we just watch the basketball go. Like one of the rockets firing off in the space. It's just, and so they kind of laugh, like the Beavis and Butthead laugh. He's like, "No, we don't want to play basketball, little homie." And I'm like, in my brain, I'm thinking, okay, well, what do you guys want to do? And he says, "You got any money?" And to this day, it's still so cringe. Remember, I told you about having a pocket full of change. When I say I had a pocket full of change, like the quarters, the dimes, the nickels, that stuff came in handy. You could get a whole buffet for like $1.50, right? You could bring some kids from the neighborhood when I was young, and like they had the little quarters, you get a quarter oatmeal cream pie, you get your little quarter juice, you get a quarter bag of chip. Like you could have a whole buffet for $1.50, $1.75. And so I sit there, right? He like, "You got any money?" And I pat my pockets, and I'm like, "No." And all they hear is a ton of change just jingling like a high school janitor keys. And he like, "You lying to me?" He like, it sounds like you got some money. They immediately, expeditiously grab me, turn me upside down by my ankles. Yes, by my ankles. This is embarrassing, but I was 12 years old. And they shake all the change out of my pocket. Now, my younger brother, Maurice, is there. And he starts crying. and he's like just hitting the guy like, leave my big brother alone, right? And we had already bought us a couple little snacks. We had the little the honey buns and stuff. So they take all my change, and then they're like, man, your little brother, he got big, you could use your imagination as to what they said. And so they grabbed the change, and then not only that, they took, I think it was a honey bun that we had, and they took it and they opened it up and started eating it, and they just kind of looking at us, laughing and stuff. And I'm trying to find my glasses, mind you. Before many of you don't know this, before I joined the army, I was pretty blind. Like I had the Steve Urkel glasses, like the really, I'm talking about the lenses was super duper thick. Like if you stack like 15 quarters on top of each other. That's how thick my lenses were. And so when my glasses came off, I was blind. Like I couldn't count my fingers in front of my face. So I'm trying to find my glasses, and I'm looking at them eating my honey bun, and I'm just sad. And they walk off and they're just laughing, and me and my brother go home. And here I am, what is it now? I'm almost 40 years old. And I remember that story clear as day because, and guess what? You know what? It's funny that I'm telling you this story tonight, guys, because if I tell you everything, you're going to see how crazy it all ties together. As a matter of fact, I'll just tell you right now. So I first heard the voice of God when I was going to commit suicide. I was on the bridge and the Lord was like, don't do it. And so, I felt it. I felt the hand of God on the back of my neck, and I didn't do it. I heard God, that was God telling me go hide behind the car. But here's the thing, I didn't really know God's voice like that. Like the first time God made it clear to me, like when I was gonna kill myself, God made it super clear to me that it was him. There was no doubt about it. This time it was like, man, is that God or is it just me? Or like, and so like, I'm not gonna go hide behind the car. Long story short, I had enough encounters like this in my life that when I was in the army and I had went back to church after, if you missed the club testimony, you can rewind the video, go hear my testimony about being in the club. I was leaving an army football game and I heard the voice of God the same way. Go to your office, right? This time, watch how all this ties in together, and you're gonna see the fruit of it, like the proof that it was really God speaking to me from a child to an adult. I'm like, go to my office. Like, that doesn't make any sense. It's time to go home. But I just knew, like, yo, this is God. And it's so funny because I remember hearing when God told me to go hide behind the cars and I didn't listen, it was the same feeling. So I knew to go to the office. And so I go to the office, guys, and the Lord is like, stick your head in that trash can and fill it up with water. And now some of you already know where I'm going with this if you've been following me since my ministry started. I'd already been doing little Facebook videos and all that kind of stuff. And, I never did it for views. I never did it for likes. I never did it for followers. Like I had a really hard life. If you heard my testimony, I've had a really hard life. And I just wanted to make the videos, to just encourage somebody. I said, man, there's somebody out there like me who doesn't have a father, you know what I'm saying? And this video is going to resonate with them. And I probably did that for a whole year, probably only getting like 2 views or whatever. And I just knew it was God, guys. And so I filled the trash can up with water. And matter of fact, let's just you guys remember the drown myself video? Let's see if I can just show you. I want you to see it. Because I feel like this is gonna challenge somebody. Look at this right here. So now this video, now mind you, everything that is on my YouTube got put on YouTube later. This initially was on Facebook, right? And so this is the office where the military office is, right? And the Lord told me, fill it up with water and stick your head in it. And guys, this is my first video that ever went viral. So nobody could ever tell me it wasn't God that was oh, God wasn't talking to you. I saw the fruit of it. So I recorded the video. Here, I'm gonna play like the first couple seconds of it. You can go check it out later. All right, let's see. There's probably gonna be
most people have no clue that in 2023 the best way to make money on Amazon is not
See that right there? That's where the point you got to get in your relationship with God. You got to get the point where you want God as bad as you want to breathe. You want him more than you want anything else in this life, more than you want to sin, more than you want to fall short and fornicate and commit adultery and smoke weed and drink drinks and go to the club. You got to get to the point where you're so on fire and you're sold out for God, no matter what, that fire is just burning up inside of you and it's rising up higher and higher and it's consuming you and you feel it in your bones and you can't let the devil take it away. He's going to try to come and he's going to try to stomp it out with peer pressure and problems and tests and trials and giants and mountains, but you got that fire burning so strong and you're feeding that fire every day by praying and fasting and you won't let the devil put it out. You got to get to the point where that fire is so strong and you want the things of God so bad that nothing can stop you, nothing can hinder you, and you won't sell out. And when people get around you, they feel the heat. They might not think God is real, but they can't deny the heat. They can't deny the fire. They can't deny the flame that they see in you. You got to get to the point of God where you want him so bad. You want the things of God so bad in your life. You want them as bad as you want to breathe. You want to breathe as bad as you want to breathe. You want to be used as bad as you want to breathe. See, Marcus, why are you so fired up for God? Why are you so fired up? Because I was in the world. You got to get to the point where you realize the devil has nothing to offer you, nothing to offer you at all. I went to the club. I slept with the women. I went out there and did my thing, and it left me empty, and it'll leave you empty. Nothing can fill you like the fire of God. Nothing can consume you like the passion of God. Nothing can complete you like the fire of God. See, God, when he formed you, he created you with purpose. He created you to be used, and the devil's going to do anything he can to hinder you, to stop you, and try to destroy you. But you got to get to the point where your mind is made up that no matter what is going on around me, no matter who's talking about me, I don't care what they say. I don't care what's going on in the news. I'm sold out for Jesus Christ. I don't care what the rest of the world is tolerating. Nothing is going to put out my fire. Nothing is going to stop me. Nothing is going to hinder me. I'm sold out for Jesus, and I'm unashamed. You got to get to the point where you just don't care what people think. You just got to keep your mind on God. See, David, he was anointed to be king, but before he could ever become king, before he could ever fight the giant, he had to be out in the field meditating on God, getting stronger, building up the fire. And you need to build up your fire. And no matter what, you don't let the devil put out your fire. It is time for saints to be on fire for God. You need to want the things of God better than you want to breathe. Now be blessed in Jesus' name.
Oh my goodness, guys. My eyes are just teary. I didn't mean to even play all of that for you guys, but I started feeling it in my spirit. And when I look at that video, man, like I remember the pain that I was going through. You see, what's crazy is, and so what ended up happening, probably within 3 hours, that video had 10,000 plays. And then overnight, World Star Hip Hop shared it, and it went super duper viral. And people were talking crazy about me, like this guy got his head in the trash can. And that's really what launched my ministry, guys. And what's so crazy is you guys see that video, but you don't see like what was happening off the video, behind the video, the tears that I cried, the knives that were in my back. And so, God told me to do that. And we see the fruit. Like, if I wasn't willing to look crazy, I remember how the devil was attacking my mind. I said, man, if I do this video, they're gonna think I'm crazy, in the army. Number one, I'm at my job. I got the trash can. I'm putting my head in a trash can. Like, they're gonna say that I'm crazy. But I knew that I had learned my lesson. Like, yo, God is telling me to do this. And if I didn't obey and do that video, we wouldn't be here today. Like, there would probably be no Firehouse Church, none of it. And it just starts with simple obedience, guys, man. And that just really just took me back, man. I got emotional. That's why I played so much of the clip. I didn't even mean to play that much of it, but it just really took me back, to those days. So, all right, guys, I got some more stories I can tell you guys. I want to tell you the story about the girlfriend that I first had, and I want to tell you the story about the situation with the LGBTQ guy on the highway. So I'll probably tell you that one next, but let's take a quick break. I'm going to play one more song for you guys. You can tell me what you think. I hope you guys choose to support that first song. You see, it's like the old school, kind of like Marvin Gaye type feel, but we do got some rap stuff. So check this out.
Introducing the hide and seek from Belrock,
And
a traditional wallet on.
let me mute that real quick. All right, here we go. I'm just gonna play about 40 seconds, and then we'll go back to storytelling.
Mama, you know that I'm a big stepper.
Let me know what you think about it.
Mama raised a big stepper.
The album just dropped today. It was like number 9 on the Christian charts when I checked at lunch.
Yeah. Look, I throw these dragons in the dungeons. Got the plunger and I'm plunging. I'm just living in abundance. All my blessings are humongous. The devil thought he had me when he had me. He the dumbest. Like the Virgin Islands, I be chilling where the sun is. Turn my water into wine, turning nothing into something. Yeah, they mad cause I be winning, and that's something they can't stomach. And I cast these devils out of them. I make my haters vomit. Pull and shoot it if you got it. Yes, I'm with it. Yes, I want it. I got faith in the battle like a chain, and I'm a front. Always preaching, turn away from your sin. I'm so redundant. With no gloves, I be punching. With no shoes, I keep running. Barefoot on this holy ground, cause you know I don't play around. I don't need a Grammy, cause one day I get a golden crown. Thank God for my family, cause I know they gon' hold it down. Overcame every goofy demon and you silly clowns. Overcame every goofy demon and you silly clowns. I'm a big stepper, I'm just trying to do better. One day I'ma die, and on the day I'm gonna live forever.
All right. So let's go back to telling some more stories. All right. This one, I know that last one, it took a turn that I wasn't expecting, but you guys get to know me a little bit. So I'm gonna tell you this story where I first got my driver's license, and my mom had a green, I think it was like a Ford Astro minivan or whatever. And so she was like, man, you can take the car out. She had let me practice driving a couple of times, but this was like the first time I was going to take the car out, by myself. And so I go and I get my girlfriend and her friend and her brother, and then my sister. And so we're all riding around in the car, you know how it is when you're young, and we're just blasting music, right? And so I'm on the highway. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get on the highway. I'm feeling myself. I'm tired of driving on the regular street. I gotta impress my girl. You know what I'm saying? And so, she's sitting in the passenger seat. I gotta, show that confidence, like, I'm the man, whatever. And so we're riding down Lakeshore Drive and we're blasting this music. And I never forget, like, to the right of me, there's like this small little red, I don't know, like a Toyota Corolla or something like that. Some kind of little small little sedan. I don't sound like I'm saying that right. Zeden, right? Is that right? I don't know. Anyways, so for whatever reason, this is way before there was no Uber or Lyft or nothing back then. So there's a guy that's driving in the driver's seat, and then there's somebody that was sitting in the back seat directly behind the guy that was driving. And so for whatever reason that caught my eye, I'm like, that's weird, because the passenger seat was empty. So I'm like, what is going on? And so we look, and the guy in the back seat is doing, not to be too graphic, the guy in the back seat, like, he's kind of like laying back like this, like with his head back, and he's got his arms, like up on a thing. And so, like, we're like, what's going on? Like, it's just weird. And so, like, for whatever reason, I just beep the horn, beep, 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 beep. And I kid you not, like, a head popped up one of the girls was like, no, there's a head in the guy's lap, so you can figure what was going on, right? And so I beeped the horn, like, oh, like, we see what you guys are doing, like, we caught you. When I beep the horn, the head pops up, and it's a guy on a guy. And so we're like, whoa, like, we're going crazy. They roll down the window and they throw like this glass bottle. Somebody in the comments said, nah, yeah, like, for real. They roll down their window. And I think matter of fact, it wasn't, how we have the power windows. It was one of those ones you gotta manually do it. So they're rolling down the window, threw the bottle at my mom's car, rolled up the window. And some of y'all don't know anything about that. And now it's like, oh, it's on, right? I gotta be tough. Remember, I had these guys that had robbed me as a kid, and I remember that feeling and stuff, and I got to be tough, and my girlfriend's in the car, I got to be tough, right? And so they go off the highway, and I follow them, right? I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna get them, I'm gonna get them, I'm gonna get them. They get off the highway, and they turn, like, they see that I'm following them clearly, and they turn into a dark alley. I should have known, like, don't follow him down the dark alley, right? Anyways, I follow him down the dark alley, and um I see them stop the car probably like 10, 15 feet in front of me. So I stop and I just hop out the car. I'm on 10. I'm ready to fight. Dude gets out of the driver's seat, and I kid you not, I'm walking up to him just ready to swing on him, and he just swings his arm out like this. And it's like he's got this like a big old gun. Like, and the gun is so heavy, it's like his wrist is like this, like it's just limp. And I see the gun, I'm like, oh, and I'm like, oh man. And he like, nah, mother, blah, 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 right? And he's like, keep coming. And like, this is literally what he's doing. If you guys know that guy, Pinky from Friday, he's like, nah, come on, man. Come on, man. Yeah, come on over here. I got something for you. And I'm like, no. You don't got anything for me. I'm good. I'm gonna just get back in the car, let you guys do whatever LGBTQ thing you guys were doing. Like, and I start backtracking, right? And I'm like, nope, you got it, man. And he's like, yeah, I know I got it. Like Burger King, what do you say? I think it was like the slogan back then, have it your way. He was like, I'm gonna have it my way. And he's like stomping his feet. Here's the crazy thing, right? You guys don't know my sister. She's gangster. You got those sliding doors on the Astro van. I kid you not. I'm walking back to the car, and I see my sister with a pen in her hand. She took one of the car seats and she's holding it like a shield. And yeah, Romy. And she's walking up like behind the parked cars. Like, she wasn't about to let this guy, or these guys jump me. Like, my sister, sweet as she is, hey, she about that life. And she was about to, I don't know, stab this dude neck. I'm like, Romy, get back in the car. They got a gun. I'm like, and that's the first time I saw my sister in that light. I'm like, yo, my sister is gangster. All right, now I'll tell you two more stories before I play any more music, because this one, it kind of just goes together, right? Like I said, I'm just telling you the crazy kind of funny stories. There's a lot of sad stories. There's a lot of bad stuff. But the same girl, right now, I'm bringing up this girl because it was kind of like a big thing in my life. She was like my first, like, serious girlfriend. I think I was like 17. She was 2 years older than me. So I think she was like 19 or 20 or something when I met her. And so we are going to the club, right? And this is when I got my actual car, right? So I actually had joined the army, and me and her had dated on and off. She broke my heart. It's really crazy, right? Got pregnant by some other dude. I was a virgin, and I was trying to save it for marriage, and she wasn't, obviously. And I came back from the army, and it's like, oh, now I'm in the army, and so, whatever, what I'm saying. I had joined the reserves, and I'm like, maybe, she'll accept me, because I felt rejected. I felt hurt by all that kind of stuff. And which, by the way, a funny story I'm gonna tell you after this story, where my mom kind of tried to run her off, but I didn't listen. So I get her in the car. I don't know what it is with me getting in the car with girls, and then I feel like I got to show out. So anyways, we're in the car. We're going to the club. One of the girls has this big gulp, like 7-Eleven drink, right? And there's like these two dudes walking on the street, look like the dude who played the Hulk in the old, what was it, the 70s, the 80s, Luke Ferrigno, I think his name was. She takes the big gulp. I don't know if she was like a little bit drunk or something like that. She takes the big gulp. She throws it. Bow! It hits the dude, like straight up smacks the dude, right? Slushy all over the place. And she's laughing. My girlfriend's laughing. I'm sitting there like, yeah, that was kind of funny. And I just keep driving, right? Guys, I hit a red light about a block later. I'm thinking everything's cool. I look up in the rear view mirror, and all I see is this big old white dude like running like a football player, just who, like literally I'm talking about he's pumping them hands like the Flash when they slow it down. I'm talking about all the way forward, all the way back, running hard, muscles on top of muscles, right? Everywhere. And I see this guy coming to do some damage, like some record. I mean, this guy is humongous. But I got my girl in the car, so I can't be no punk, right? Now, if you listen to my whole testimony and when you see how all these stories tie together, you're going to see why my mentality was the way that it was, right? I got robbed, when I was a kid with the snack cakes. I got set up to get robbed, and I got robbed all the way down to my boxers as an adult. And after those two things happened, I said, I'm never going to feel like that again. So if anybody wants to smoke, they can get it. I'm never going to let nobody punk me. I'm never, like, that was my mentality. I'm never going to let nobody bully me. So this guy's running up, like, and he's like a block away. Like, let me kind of show you what it kind of looked like to me. So here I am, right, in the driver's seat, and look at my finger back here, right? So this is what it looked like. That's how far away he was. And you just see him coming, getting closer. He's getting bigger in the mirror. Like, that thing says things are closer than they appear. He was getting close. And so I'm at the red light. Why is it that the light never turns green when you need it to turn green? And whenever you need a red light, it always turns green. And so anyways, he gets up to the car. I hop out the car, and it's kind of funny. It's not funny. He's got like red slushy like all over, right? And I'm like, "What's up, man? What's the problem?" And he's like, "Your effing girl, man, just threw this slushy on me." And he's kind of like a little bit intoxicated. And then so his other homeboy makes it up. He's like, "Yeah, man, bro, what the F, bro?" Like, and they're just and I'm like, I don't know. Girls trying to impress girls makes you do stupid things. And so I'm like, man, I don't give a F about that, blah, 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 blah. And so I don't know what I was thinking, guys. I pulled out, matter of fact, I think I still got one. Yep. You see this? Military ID, right? This is my old military ID. I pulled it out like I was the police. It sounds weird now, but I thought it was cool because, like, I just joined the army. I got my ID. I'm thinking like that means something. So I'm like, bow, you know what I'm saying? Like, check that out. Like, you know what I'm saying? And man, that's so cringe now that I think about it. And I said, you better not do nothing to me. I'm in the army. I'm government property. And there was like this thing that they were saying in the army, like if somebody would get beat up or jumped, the people who jumped the service member, right, that would be considered destruction of government property. So I'm like, yo, go ahead if you want to. The government gonna be on your head. You know what I'm saying? With no hesitation, dude punched me. Bow. He didn't care about the government. You know what I'm saying? Like that, he didn't care about my military ID. He didn't care if I had went to Iraq or Afghanistan. I had only been in the army for a little bit at this point. I hadn't gone nowhere, but he did not care. And I was sitting there kind of shocked. Like I thought like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm in the army, bro. Like, hey, you mess with me and the U.S. government is going to be on your head, boy. Like, that's how I'm talking. I'm talking crazy. And he hit me immediately. I'm saying this dude is big. So pretty much these two big muscle heads beat me up. Now I'm a fighter. Hey, that's one thing about me. I can pull up videos on YouTube and stuff. I'm a fighter, Army, MMA, all of that. I was good at it. And anybody who tells you that they fought a lot and they say they won every fight, they probably didn't fight a lot. This fight, I definitely lost. All right. And I know most of the stories that I've told tonight, I've lost every fight, but I was outnumbered 30 guys to 3 and 2 guys to 1. Here's what gets crazy, right? They beat me up. Remember, I had the Arthur glasses, right? Big old thick. I'm gonna see if I can find a picture. You guys love it. I literally look like the Arthur character. So they break my glasses, obviously, when he hits me in the face. And they're like, yeah, take that, said the N-word, all of that. I get back in the car, right? This is how I get back in the car. I'm like, this is literally how I get back in the car. Mind you, the girls never got out the car. They threw the drink, didn't get out the car to help, to assist, nothing. Let me run it back. I want to show you I'm gonna play it out exactly how it happened. Grab the steering wheel. The first thing they say to me, are we still going to the club? That's the first thing these girls say to me. The first thing, I spazzed out, yo. I spazzed out. Literally, like, I'm gonna play it back for you now. I'm gonna show you the whole thing, how it probably looked, minus the cussing. You just imagine what was coming out of my mouth. We still going to the club? No, we ain't going. Just like that. Just like I spazzed. No, we ain't going nowhere. I'm screaming. I'm mad. And I'm driving home blind. A matter of fact, they split the glasses in half. So I had the one lens on, like the Monopoly guy, technically what they say the Mandela effect, that the Monopoly guy didn't really have the monocular, that's what you call it. Some people say he did. Some people, let's take a quick poll real quick. I got to get ready to go to the prayer meeting, but let's take a quick poll. How many of you guys believe that the Monopoly man had the monocular? And how many believe that he didn't? Somebody said yes, he did. Somebody said no. So I don't know. Some people say that he did. Some people said that he didn't. Anyways, I'm driving, one hand on the steering wheel, and I'm holding my glasses like this. And so, long story short, I'm not gonna tell you, we didn't go to the club. We did not go to the club that night. All right. And so this girl that I'm talking to, the same one from the van, the same one, from this story, the same one she set me up to get robbed, and she got pregnant by another dude, all this kind of stuff. When I first started talking to her, I remember I brought her to church, right? This is the last story I'm going to tell, because I think it's time for me to have a prayer meeting. Oh, almost. I brought her to my church. And I remember, like, I was going to church more for like a social thing. And to be honest, I was kind of going to church to show her off. Like, so she was like one of those white girls that grew up in the hood, you know what I'm saying? Like red hair, all of that. We went to like a black church that wasn't far from the United Center. So I'm like, man, I'm gonna pull up with my girl, you know what I'm saying? All the, the little girls who had rejected me, they're gonna see me, I got my girl, she was a pretty girl. And so we're sitting in church. And somehow, some way, my mom, ends up sitting right behind us, right? There's all these pews. And just like when I played that drown yourself video a couple minutes ago, like I wasn't expecting it to hit me like it did in the spirit, just like that. I wasn't expecting when the pastor preached for it to hit me the way that it hit me, right? And so the prayer hit me. I mean, the preaching hit me, and it convicted me. Now, mind you, I wasn't like, I was in sin, but I wasn't fornicating. I was still a virgin, all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I was, going to the club, stuff like that. And so by the time he got done preaching, I felt God tugging on my heart. And so I walked up to the altar, and I'm up there praying. My girlfriend, she stayed at the pew. And you know how you just kind of get that feeling, right? Look, this is me at the altar. I'm gonna show you exactly what it felt like. This is me at the altar. And I get this feeling that something is happening. I don't know what's happening. And so I turn my head and I look back like this. And I turn my head and I look back a little bit more. My eyes get a little bit bigger because I see my mom, who she hasn't really met this girl. She knows of this girl, but I never really like introduced her like that yet. She just knows of her. And I just see my mom in the girl's ear like this, just and I just see the girl just sitting there like, oh, like that, like that. I'm like, oh, me and God are having a moment, but what is my mom doing? So now I'm sitting at the altar and I'm like, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. Oh, what is my mom doing? I get done with the altar call. I go back there. Old girl just has that look on her face. And I said, oh, man. I said, what happened? She said, your mom just told me, leave my son alone. You're not the one for him. Hey, I was like, don't worry about that, girl. And so we left. But you can see it affected her. But here's the crazy thing, guys. My mom was right. That girl did me dirty. So, she ended up, she was always trying to do stuff, and I was trying to wait for, like, my mom is gangster, bro. Like, my mom used to take us to Cabrini Green, right? Matter of fact, let me show y'all. Like, my mom is a white German lady, but let me see if I could pull up something from, just so you can see. Cabrini Green in the 90s. Let's see. She would take us to the Cabrini Green projects. Let me see, inside the Cabrini Green projects. And she would just, man, that just made me think of another story. But let's see if we can pull it up. And just witness and preach to people. And it was like really crazy.
On a chilly December morning in Chicago, Althea Harris, along with a handful of other holdouts, is finally moving from the notorious Cabrini Green house. No place was in neglect. Gangs ruled entire buildings. Residents were terrorized.
Kind of things, kind of like break.
Plan for transformation, co-authored or families.
I wish you could see the inside of it, but you get the point. It was super ghetto, super dangerous, and my mom would go in there and preach the gospel, and she would take us along. So anyways, that girl did me real dirty, and my mom ended up being right. And I remember being at my job, and oh man, I remember I was upstairs like just playing the piano or whatever, and my girl shows up to the job. This is like weeks later. She shows up to the job and she's like, I got something to tell you. And you know how you get that sick feeling in your stomach? Like, I just knew, like, oh my gosh, this is not about to be good, right? And so it's like I knew what was coming, and pretty much she tells me, yeah, I'm pregnant, and I remember I just broke down because I thought, man, I was in love with this girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, we seemed to get along, and I couldn't even be tough in front of her. I'm on the keyboard. I stopped playing the keys, and she's like, I'm sorry. And I remember I left the job, and I didn't even want to drive. Like, that was like my first real heartbreak, And I remember like walking home and calling my mom. I'm like, Mama, da, 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 da. And I told her what happened, and I'm like, man, it's crazy, but it was my first heartbreak. I never was the type of dude like trying to be like a player, and like, I just wanted to have one girl. Like, I never was that kind of guy like, oh, I need 4 or 5 girls, right? So if I got one girl, I'm good. And I've always, like, anybody who knows me, like, I love like really hard. And I love people, and they don't, to this day, like, I love people. They don't show the love back. I do stuff for people. I never really had nobody be me to me, like what I've been to other people. I know y'all don't see that side on the internet, but man, I was bawling, crying. I'm like, oh, she said, I know, baby, come home. And she was real relieved, you know what I'm saying? And so, whoo, man, that really killed the mood. I'm gonna have to play a little song, get it a little upbeat. But God turned it around. Y'all see my life now. So, but if you really hear my testimony, guys, just the little pieces that you hear, you can kind of see how it makes sense. So, my family, we came to Chicago. We didn't have anything. To this day, I don't have no uncles. I don't have no aunts. I don't have no grandparents. in the States. My mom is from Germany. My dad is from the Virgin Islands. And so I always wanted to have a big family. I grew up without my father. And so I'm like, man, I want to have 12 kids. So for me, like I said, I never was a player. My mindset was I'm always going to get a wife, get married, and start having a lot of kids early. And so, that's what happened. When I joined the Army at 19, I got married, and I was married for like 7 months. They sent me to Iraq, had 3 kids, and we weren't even together long, and they sent me to Iraq for a whole year, and that kind of messed it up. Then I came back for like 11 months, and then we got orders to go to Afghanistan for another year. And so, that it was bad early on. But see, a lot of people would judge your life without knowing the details. People would get religious about your life without knowing all the details. You got to be aware, like, you don't know what people been through. You don't know, like, the good and bad and the ugly of their life. And I always tell people, like, look, people might come in at the Psalms part of your life and they want to judge you for what they see in Psalms, but they don't know from Genesis up to Psalms, and they don't know what's going to happen after Psalms to Revelation. Only God knows. And that's the beautiful thing about it, man. So I'm just so grateful to God. I think I told you not the testimony, the story about the LGBTQ. I told you the story about the club. I told you guys the story about the shootout. We laughed a lot tonight. I think there was one more story that I wanted to tell you, but until I can remember, let me play you guys one more. Hopefully you guys will feel led to support tonight. And let's see, which one should I do? Let's do this one, of course. All right, just take a quick.
I'm gonna let you in on a little wash day secret. I apply it directly to my hair.
All right. Got a little ad playing. This is one of my favorites off of the new album. If you didn't hear, we got like a Marvin Gaye kind of style music, some rapping in there, but this one is one of my favorites. I'll play you a little bit, and then I'm gonna get ready to call it a night. Let me know what you think in the comments.
And the song reminds me of the Samaritan woman at the well. Jesus said, I have water that you can drink that you'll never thirst again, but it's something like this. I found water from the river that never runs dry. I found from your spirit living inside. I found peace from the one that was wounded for me. With all of that, I'm never going back. I just wanna sit at your feet. I'm never going back. I just wanna drink from the cup in your hand.
I like this one too. This one got me and my brother. Hey, I love you guys. If you feel led, just I would appreciate you go get the album, support us. We're number 9 on the charts today. I might get on here and tell you guys some more stories.
There is no one sweeter than you.
It's me singing, and the other guys.
There is none who loves me like you, my Jesus. There is none holy like you. There is none holy like you. Yeah, so sweet, so sweet. I'm in love with you. So sweet, so sweet. I'm in love with you. So sweet, so sweet. I'm in love with you. I'm in love. Broken pieces may forever change, that you can ask the streets. He left the 99 just to come after me. I'm in the master's piece. Yeah. He took my broken pieces, made me a masterpiece. I'm forever changed, like you can ask the streets. He left the 99 just to come after me. I'm in the master's piece.
Last one. Hopefully these little clips will make you guys want to go check it out. Let me know what you think in the comments. I definitely appreciate the feedback.
Yeah, the love is gone, but the pain is here. Doing magic tricks, they just disappeared. Had to lose it all for me to see clear. I've been through hell and now it's no fear. What can you do to me, huh? What can you do to me when I know God got me? No witch, no hater, no evil, no devil, no demon, no curse can never stop me. You down in the lobby, we up in the party. You being religious, but we all the body. The devil mad too, cause he been getting bodied. Jesus on the cross, being so godly. No, I'm not cocky, but I take my shot. Nobody can block me. Yeah, you do surveillance. I know that you watch me. You sit from your phone and critique, and you sorry. We moving up, yeah. It's all by His grace. When we moving up, yeah. We moving up, yeah. I fall on my face, cause we moving up. We staying down and we staying real. We never sell out and we standing tall. We never bow down. You ain't for the money, I ain't for the crown. I laugh at the devil a clown. I smile at my wife cause she hold me down. I pray for the lost and I'm hoping they found. This ain't recess, we don't play around. I laugh at the devil a clown. I smile at my wife cause she holding me down. Pray for the lost and I'm hoping they found. This ain't recess, we don't play around. No, no. He kept me, He kept me, He kept me, got me through it all. He held me, He held me. I know He never let me fall seasons, but I'm here, I'm still breathing. We gon' ball. He kept me, He saved me, and yeah, He brought me through it all. It's all in God's time, all in God's time. It's coming God's timing. Breakthrough comes in God's timing. It's all in God's timing. It's all in God's.
So can we do this, guys? If you don't mind staying with me a little bit longer, I really appreciate the support. I just want to show you guys, and you can let everybody know in the comments, because people be like, bro, I didn't even know you made music, and then I'm so censored on Facebook and all that stuff. I just want to show you guys probably what I feel is some of the songs that if you've never listened to my music, because I got so much music out, like you're like, well, what song should I listen to? Let me just show you about 5 or 6 songs that I think if you've never listened to my music before that you should listen to. This is probably one of the first ones. We got almost,
it's a shame so many women struggle.
1 million views on this one. I think it's probably one of the most anointed songs. So let's start it out. You can let them know in the comments though which songs you think they should listen to.
I'm feeling heaven's doors, oh. Lord, I see you pouring out your oil and anointing. Adonai, yeah, I cry, Jesus. Adonai, send your fire. I'm feeling heaven's doors. Lord,
let me just say this, because some people were really freaking out about the guns. The guns were just symbolic of spiritual warfare.
You pouring out your oil and anointing. Adonai, here I cry, Jesus. Send your fire, that Holy Ghost fire, that Holy Ghost power, fire.
Let me that towards my little brother part.
The fire.
Entering the holies of holies. I never felt this.
So there's that. Somebody said I should show you guys Water Walkers. Check this one out.
In heavenly places, cause you're standing here. The laws of gravity.
Name other songs in the comments, guys. If you think I'm about to go downstairs for the prayer meeting, don't forget to leave your prayer requests in the comment section.
I can see the waves, but I feel no fear. I can see the storm, but I feel no fear. Let me higher into your atmosphere. I put my heart and soul to this, so I got no regrets. Like you staring in some water, I just hope it all reflects. I hope you see the growth, cause I've been taking little steps. Every song I made, shooting shots, hoping they connect. Just an underdog and overlook, but now it's time to flex. I was thrown into the...
Look at this. This is what the church used to look like before the renovations. That's crazy. I just realized, and I got this footage of
fire, but they never saw me sweat. If it's anointed, then I'm good. I never worry who the best. Never been an Iron Man, but I feel power in my chest. Life is just a moment like a camera. I'ma catch this. Not living for the right now because there isn't after this. See our bodies in the sky transforming like we optimists. Fake prophets acting deep, they pointing out the obvious. Keep the record clean and speak for God, cause one day he gon' audit it. Every knee gon' bow and tongue confession, probably swallow it. The devil getting played in the media and politics. Spirit of the Antichrist, careful you don't follow it. I've been through so many troubles, I done fought so many devils. I don't want so many battles, I can't even show the medals. You be surprised who the devil using as some vessels. Cry my way through hell just to hit another level. But Jesus went to hell through the cross to beat the devil. Never in the click of read, Jackie chose a rebel. So it's only fitting, miracles be happening every time I'm spitting. Like when Jesus opened blinded eyes and he gave him vision. Teach me how to walk on water, show me how to dance in the fire. Jesus, they led you like a lamb to the slaughter, put you in the grave but you got up. Jesus, why you gotta be so many problems? Why I gotta climb so many mountains? Jesus, they told me you the well in the fountain, told me reach for you if I'm drowning. Jesus, teach me how to fight these battles, teach me how to block these arrows. Jesus.
Let's see, man, I wonder if you can find. So I would say Great God. This is the original Great God. Man, I can't find it. But there's the Great God. The original is like probably my biggest song of all time. You see, it has almost 2 million.
At Mint Mobile,
2 million
like to do-
views. I was trying to find another one. You guys can log out if you want. Just go check out that Soul album. I'll just play a couple more songs. We'll call it a night. I appreciate your time. Love you guys.
My God is a big God, he's a great God, he's a big God, he's a great God. Yeah, he's greater than the rest. Yeah, he's greater than the rest.
Y'all. Yep, this one. All right, last one I'm gonna play. I might play this one. One of my favorites.
Who sets you free? Who loosed you? You shall be bound for eternity. You are going nowhere.
You can see the influence from Carmen if you guys remember Carmen from the 90s, 80s.
He's a big, pass it to me. Man, pass me the keys. Sick of the passenger seat, man. I came to eat. You run faster with me. You got the mark of the beast. I got the mark of a beast. Flapping your gums, but I sharpen my teeth. I got a mission that I will complete. I got the spirit and power, man. I feel his glory on me. Woo! Son of the king, so I got the nobility. And the prayer me, then call the artillery. Holy Ghost power gave me ability. Word gave me balance, got that agility. They tell me come out and show some humility. I tell them rise up and show some hostility. Friends with the devil, man, are you kidding me? Caught you in bed, sleeping with the enemy. God send it sound like you know it's the summer. Lion of Judah, the king of the jungle. Fruits of the spirit, I got me a bundle. Been trusting in God, so I did not crumble. Love me some Jesus, though I didn't mumble. Devil ain't bad and he don't want the trouble. Gave me these blessings, yeah, you gave me double. I praise you, real, I know I cannot be subtle. I give praise to the big guy. Plus the devil out, he got a black eye. Went down in the water, got baptized. All praises be to the Most High. I give praise to the big guy. Plus the devil out, he got a black eye. Went down in the water, got baptized. All praises be to the Most High. Big God, he's a great God. He's a big God. Big God, he's a great God. Yeah, he's greater than the rest. Yeah, God. Yeah, God. Yeah, he's greater than the rest. Yeah, God. Yeah, God. Let's go. Alpha Omega, ain't nobody greater. Ain't take Jacob Slider, took the elevator. You lay with Delilah, I can never date her. I shoot at these devils through the percolator. Created by God, he very innovative. Gotta emulate him, not intimidate him. Wishing they could break him. Judgment day is coming, he gon' terminate him. I want that unity.
I actually got a concussion during this video right here. Let's see if we can mute it for a second. I got slammed so hard on my head. You can kind of see it in part of the video. Let's see.
I want to let everybody know that I serve the Alpha and Omega, the greatest of all time, the GOAT.
Man.
And every knee is going to bow, and every time.
The devil trying to pull up.
It's complete pandemonium backstage. A Holy Ghost smackdown is being laid on the devil. He better get ready to pop 2 Tylenols because this will make your head rock. Flip them tables.
I made that kind of music make you want to smack the devil. Hey.
Hey, this gon' make your head rock. This gon' make your speakers knock. This gon' make the devil drop. This gon' make you beat the devil up. This gon' make your head rock. This gon' make your speakers knock. This gon' make the devil drop. This gon' make you beat the devil up. Yeah. I'm a macho man. I'm a alpha. I'm a son of God. We can't do that wishy-washy fake. No, we be going hard. We not living like the world. No, you know this a holy squad. For they Grammys, for they idols, man. I got no regard. We some kingdom soldiers. We some warriors aiming for the mark.
I didn't even know you got.
We got orders, man. It's time to rock. You gon' get exposed if it's in your mouth, but it's not in your heart. Love the Lord with all your mind and all your soul and all you got. Big stepping in my big blessings, and I'm feeling good. Got them preaching Jesus.
Oh man, yeah. Here's another one that you haven't. If maybe you haven't heard it yet, this one's crazy. Every time I play this in my church,
Christians could do it like this.
No, come on, man.
My church goes crazy when we play this.
I gotta go up. I can't stay down. I gotta go up.
I am not asking for money in the comments. All right, whoever that is.
Less I'm praying, less I'm fasting. See these demons gotta bless them. I gotta go up. 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 I can't stay down.
You don't got a choice. You gotta go up in Jesus' name.
I can't stay down. I go up with my worship. I go up with my praise. I go up in my spirit. I go up in His name. I gotta go up. I can't stay down. I gotta go up. I can't stay down. Let's go. This is the life I chose. Change it up like it's clothes. I just do it for the kingdom, and I do it for my bros. Give God praise on my highs. Give Him worship on my lows. If it's one thing I know, and I can feel it.
Hey, you don't got a choice. You gotta go up. Oh my goodness, I got so many that I didn't even realize. This is an old one. You guys remember this one. How many of y'all got baptized? Type amen in the comments.
No Cholo got the game in a chokehold. My
blessings coming in by the boatload. You see my church here. We like to do a lot of stuff together like a family.
And I'm dripping in that fresh oil. I don't do it for the culture, do it for the kingdom. Man, I see these folks just looking for a reason. Devil been plotting, haters been scheming. Spirit got me feeling good. Hit me on the line, I got
same since I dipped in that water. Went from dark to light like 6 in the morning. I just play my role every bit. Need a Jordan. The old me is dead. You could put him in a coffin. And I don't mean to flex, but I'm dripping that oil. I'm dripping that oil. I ain't been the same since I dipped in that water. Since I dipped in that water.
All of these. I got so many.
Most people have no clue.
Yeah, so these are just some of the songs. If you never, oil music. You guys see right here, he's able. That's got about.
Go getter, I'm a hope dealer, truth teller, I'm a demon killer, I'm a grave digger. Got the sermon, you can't play with me, man. I got 2 antennas.
What's your favorite?
And every word ones we know pretenders. I rise up and come alive. He the king, we the bride. Don't touch his kids, they still advise. Yeah, you can kill my body, but my soul gon' survive. I pull up on these demons with my homies, we gon' slide. Told Rick, let's catch some demons out. He said I'm down to ride. Jesus said to follow me, then to your flesh you gotta die. But if you die in me, don't die on me, then I'ma give you life. And if you ride for me, I ride for you. No, I can't tell a lie. This a revolution, this a movement,
gotta go down.
This a kingdom party, y'all invited, come inside. Yeah, we want the smoke, we want the violence, we don't hide. Got power in my body, cause my king was chosen. Yeah, we gon' rock the city, we gon' rock, we gon' rock. We gon' rock the city, we gon' rock, we gon' rock. We gon' rock the city, we gon' rock, we gon' rock. We gon' rock the city, we gon' rock. Everybody.
Oh All right. Hey, I hope you guys enjoyed all of the funny stories. If you came in late to the live, go back to the beginning of the video. You get to hear me just, sharing some funny stories with you guys. I got to go downstairs for the prayer meeting, but I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Go to www.marcusrogersministries.org if you want to support what we're doing here in Chicago, and just have a wonderful evening in Jesus' name.